I hit 80 years of age not long ago, and I don't know if it's the same for others, but for me, nostalgia has kicked in. I found myself wondering about people I knew in high school and haven't really had any contact with in 62 years. That is such a long time. So I went online and I looked, and an awful lot of information now is being obscured or hidden. Photographs are blurred, etc., etc. The internet phenomena has gone from people exposing themselves to total strangers in the most intimate ways to guarding anything and everything related to them. So anyway, the nostalgia thing caused me to go looking for a few people I knew in high school that were memorable to me. A girl I had a real crush on back then. 63 years since I had last talked to her. And a couple of guys, twin brothers that were in my class also. One of whom died, and the other one is apparently still around. Although, like I said, the information restrictions on the internet are enough that it's difficult to be sure of a lot of this. I think I got the name nailed down. If you get the geography and the name to agree, it's probably the right person. Kurt Vonnegut, along with Philip K. Dick, might have written today's news. The President's Birthday, Flag Day, Ultimate Fighting Championship Freedom 250 on the south lawn of the White House, and American Flag Blue, that color painted at the bottom of the reflecting pool, and of course the bomb shelter hospital below the ballroom addition to the White House. It seems kind of surreal, and I guess it fits the definition pretty well. So we'll just see what happens. The wrestling thing, yeah, now that's what the White House has missed for so long. God knows they're not going to do the people's business in the halls of government, so they might as well have fun. Speaking of fun, it appears that we're going to do the electric power blackouts again, as we did a year and a half ago, in the fall of 24. A couple of reasons. Well, basically, El Nino, which is the rains that come in the fall. Not exactly sure when. Around Christmas time. Yeah, that's why it's called El Nino, the Christ child. Anyway, it's predicted 90% certainty that there's not going to be enough rain this year, that it will be a major El Nino. And this coincides with Colombia's lifting of restrictions on their private energy companies from exporting electricity to Ecuador. They had that for political reasons, I think, some kind of a trade pissing contest. But the government of Colombia lifted that just in time for El Nino to help reduce the level of the hydro dams here and there. So, and the government said, the Colombian government said, well, we're going to have to take care of Colombia first, and then we'll send you some power. They're also supplying power to Venezuela. We have that to look forward to. Now, here the situation, I imagine it will just be the same as it was in the fall of 24. Which means anywhere from 4 hours to a maximum, I saw, 14 to 16 hours a day without power. So you get your chores done that require electricity, and I'm thinking about a 400-watt solar panel. I got 25 watts now, which is enough to trickle up the car battery I use for lighting, and a few LED lights and a way to recharge the flashlights, and we're doing fine. We cook with gas, so that's not a problem, and we don't need to heat anything. Oh, and there is a plus side to anything, isn't there? It's an ill wind that blows no good, and this ill wind has, among other things, gives us darkness, which we would not have otherwise. All the street lights are out. everything's out except an occasional car. So in the fall of 24, we'd go up on the roof, and it shouldn't be amazing, but you could see the Milky Way. You could see stars, which you normally can't see. You can't see anything but the brightest planets and the moon. But that'll be a benefit. Maybe I'll get the sky camera out, play with that. We'll see how. It depends on how much of a drought we get, and then there's the fires and the smoke and all that stuff. Might be a repeat, might not be as bad, might be worse. I have experienced a loss of appetite in the last couple or 3 months, and that's a good thing, because appetite ultimately drives hunger. And hunger is what you should experience before you eat something. You shouldn't eat because it's time to eat, or because you need to stuff something into that yawning gap in your psyche. Whatever. Anyway, I'm losing weight. I don't know how much in pounds or kilos, because I left my scale up in North America. We'll have to get another one. But squeezing the love handles, and it's only me anymore that does that, tells me that a lot of the fat is being consumed as the stuff coming in the gullet is reduced. So that's good. I might be reducing my sleep apnea, since it's caused by soft tissue, and soft tissue is caused by fat, and fat's being used up. Sad news related to health. A person that just about everybody that's been in Vilcabamba for a decade or more got to know, Jose Pablo. His family has a finca on the other side of the big river here. A finca is an estancia, a family estate. The family has lived in Loja. Major movers and shakers in there, got a little bit of money. And Jose Pablo, the youngest of the children, had made his home on the finca, and he joined forces with a really nice gringa, a woman from California, I think, a real entrepreneur. She's managed to make a living here for years and years. Anyway, madly devoted to Jose Pablo, which makes it a bad time for her. He's in a hospital in Loja in an induced coma. I think they had a choice of administering too many pain-killing drugs, so they said, we'll just put him out of it. And he's still hanging on, but it does not look good. So best wishes for Jose Pablo. He was a real community organizer. He brought the symphony from Loja into Vilcabamba every once in a while for a concert, and did all kinds of other community things. Had a flea market every Sunday on his property there. Oh well, we're all going to go sometime. The YouTube algorithm and the media squirrel cage. There's a subject for you. I want to point out that I have not, do not, and am not criticizing YouTube. They are an algorithm, and the algorithm is to deliver eyeballs to advertisers, and the money the advertisers pay, which is enormous, because there's 1 billion viewers, so it would be enormous. That money is divvied up. The corporation gets most of it probably, and the creators who have delivered those eyeballs, they get to share in it. And some of them make incredibly serious money. Not me. I barely have myself watching. But they do share the money. But unfortunately, it's related to the audience. How do you get these eyeballs? I say you dangle bright, shiny things in front of infants. And I think that boils it down. You have to have a thumbnail and a title and, provocative graphics up there, and then you got to hit the deck running early on to keep interest, because the infant is easily distracted. There's other bright shiny things out there too. If you had high intellectual content you're not going to get much of an audience, and unless you have a goofy face with a dropped jaw and the finger pointing at something, then you might get an audience. But as soon as they see you're going to talk about ideas rather than be goofy, then they're pretty much gone. If it bleeds, it leads, they used to say in the newspaper business. The squirrel cage, yeah, when I'm watching YouTube, I've noticed something too on YouTube Shorts related to the attention span. Boy, you better grab them you got about 1 second to grab them on that. I've noticed a consistent theme. Righteous indignation. Violence justified by righteous indignation. The algorithm is selecting these things on the basis of their engagement with audience. The algorithm is not pushing righteous indignation. It's not pushing somebody getting over on a Karen, a huge amount of violence. And on the other extreme, as it usually is the cute little animals, often AI generated, or the lion cub that knew you when it was a kitten, and now it's come back, it's hungry, but it doesn't eat you because it loves you so much and it remembers you. Or maybe that's the elephant. Anyway, numb crapola like that, and that's what you got to do. And if you want to be paid by the piper for dancing, you need to dance feverishly. And quite frankly, it gets kind of old. There's paywalls up everywhere also. When you're hunting for information, as I was when I was looking to find the people I knew in high school and see what happened to them, I noticed there are paywalls behind databases, which has information they probably stole anyway. But it's that kind of a world. The media, the news is more and more paywalls. I pay for subscriptions to the Atlantic and to the New York Times, or as my friend calls it, Pravda. And that's where I can get substantive news, which means I don't have nearly as many headlines. I'll look at YouTube and see the headline, "World ends in 5 minutes." Well, you got to have that sort of a headline to get people to click. They only got 5 minutes to find out why the world's ending, and they're fools. They fall for it every time, because tomorrow there'll be another headline saying the world's ending very quickly now, so click here. If you don't do that, you don't get the eyeballs. And the world isn't ending. It just looks like it's ending. And you go on some of these old school newspaper sites and they'll say, yeah, people are dying, people are killing other people, price of something's going up, but the world hasn't quite ended yet, although it could, and we all know that. Elsewhere, the good news is the Chinese scientists are trying to connect computers to brains by putting a chip in the head invasively. That means right up against that gray matter. So this thing's going to be transmitting, radiating, very low power, but those of us that are really afraid of radio frequency energy, living in an environment awash with it, we can freak out then. You're not going to put that in my brain. Because they'll accept it because everybody else has a chip in their brain. A chip on their shoulder, and that's what they select YouTube Shorts for, and a chip in their brain, and that's how the YouTube Shorts get into their brain. Not today, but soon. It's part of the brave new world, which I will miss, but I won't miss it. I won't be here for it, so I'll miss it that way, but you know, I can imagine what it's going to be. So much of this is predicated on human nature. You don't need to see the future. You just be honest about human nature, and you'll see the way things are going and the path it'll take. I wish all of you the best in the near future and the long-term future too, but that's on thinner ice. Take care of yourself. Be nice to strangers, because they think you're a stranger, and they might be nice to you as well. See you next time. Ciao.